Alright, budget magic time. Blue-red summonings in modern. And this hand looks pretty solid. Ooh, we're up against Skred. Not sure how this one works. Well, let's play an island, pass the turn. Good news is, we stick a summonings, and I don't know how our opponent can win. And we don't really care about Blood Moon. Well, let's Thought Scour ourselves. Get a Shivan Reef, which is fine. Let's play a mountain, pass the turn. Leave up Remand, also leave up Is It Charm. We don't want our opponent to resolve like a Koth or something. That would be bad news. Alright, Shivan Reef, go. This is one match where our budget mana base is actually going to be helpful. Our opponent's not going to be able to Blood Moon us, like, at all. Now let's just electrolyze the face to cycle. I want to keep hitting our land drops. Or drawing Temporal Trespass. Now there's an island. That's good. Pass the turn. And now we're essentially one turn away from summonings, and then I think that's just game, essentially. Koth of the Hammer. Well, let's just remand Koth here. There's a Shivan Reef. Well, let's play some Magic, boys and girls. Play the mountain. We are going to slam a Metallurgic Summonings and say, alright, opponent. Can you survive? I mean, oh man. Metallurgic Summonings decks in Standard are sweet, but Metallurgic Summonings in Modern, it just gets out of control so quick. I think we even get to Temporal Trespass next turn. So our opponent going to beat us down with a mountain. Oh, no. Alright, casts a Relic. Gets in with a mountain. Well, let's play Shivan Reef. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We will make an 11-11, exiling everything in our graveyard. Okay. Can you beat this opponent? We get an extra turn. Oh, our opponent scoops it up. Oh, yes. 11-11s are pretty good. Well, let's bring in Negate. That might be all we really have for this deck. The good news is how do they beat our summonings? If we can just like counter their stuff for a minute and make sure we don't die quickly, we don't really care about Blood Moon. And then once we resolve a summonings, it's mono red. What are they going to do? Pithing Needle doesn't get it. I guess you can get a Ratchet Bomb up to 5 in theory. So we're just going to make that slight change. Bring in the Negate. Go down 1 Electrolyze. Roast doesn't hit creatures with flying. Alright. So, I mean, we just got to keep the big stuff from resolving and then play Metallurgic Summonings. Temporal Trespass is so sweet with Metallurgic Summoning. So good. So good. I think that's what you call a combo in the biz. Yeah, I guess we got a mulligan. Oh, okay. This is fine-ish. Island, I guess we put it to the bottom for now. No counters is a little sketchy. There's a mountain for our opponent. Well, let's play Shivan Reef, pass the turn. In this matchup, I would much rather have counters than lightning bolt effects, but you take what the magic gods give you. Play an island, pass the turn. I guess like double lightning bolt still gets through like a Chandra or a Koth or something. There's a mountain. Do they have a planeswalker on for Koth of the Hammer? Gonna get in with a mountain. We take 4. Well, let's lightning bolt, redirect to Koth. Temporal Trespass. Well, play an island. I should have probably played a mountain. Electrolyze, redirect to Koth. Well, there's a Negate. This will be a big turn. See what our opponent plays here. If it's another Planeswalker, that's still pretty bad. Pia and Karen Nalaar. Now, that's not the end of the world. That could have been worse. Let's play the mountain. Just lightning bolt Pia and Karen. Pass the turn. And hopefully we get to start Ravings this turn. Opponent's in the tank. This was a pretty good hand. On the play, the turn 3 Planeswalker, pretty good. Aye. Alright. I mean, that's annoying. But our opponent just sacks it right away. They're looking for a land drop, I think. Well, luckily we can start refilling our graveyard pretty quick. Opponent gets in with the Thopters. We Desperate Ravings. Discard a Temporal Trespass, that's fine. Draw an island. Well, play the island, pass the turn. We can do some more ravings at end of turn if we don't need to counter anything. Well, we got to negate Batterskull. But let's tap in away. Yeah, this is fine. Actually, maybe we just Izzet Charm. So, counter Batterskull. Drop to 9. Flashback our Desperate Ravings. Electrolyze is solid. And another Ravings. But let's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Serum Visions. There's the Summonings. I like Remand as well. Well, let's put both on top. Play a Mountain. Pass the turn. There's another snow-covered forest for our opponent. Cracks the Mind Stone. That's fine. Opponent hits us down to 7. Sure. Another relic. Yup. Cracks relic. Yup. Well, let's electrolyze. Kill both the Thopters. Man, I'm worried about discarding the Summonings, but I want to land. Let's do it. Come on, don't discard Summonings. Please, no. Anything but Summonings. Opponent bolts us down to 4. Bolts us down to 1. Ooh, that's sketchy. That means we could die to bolts. Well, let's Serum Visions. Mana Leak is pretty good. Let's put Thought Scour, Logic Knot as the first draw. And pass the turn. Sit on our counters. I think we got to get a little more stable just because we could die to a lot of things. Pia and Karen. Well, we will... Do we just remand? Yeah, let's remand. Remand Pia and Karen. Can we run on the assumption our opponent does not have a bolt? They bolted our face twice, though. But we really need lands to stay in this game. We're drawing a Thought Scour. Alright, let's play around it. Draw the Thought Scour, pass the turn. Eternal Scourge. Okay. Well, let's Thought Scour. There's Temporal Trespass, but we don't have the lands. 1, 2, 3... Desperate Ravings. There's a bolt. We discarded our Temporal Trespass, though. No land still. There's an island. So, island... Can we go shields down here? Probably not. Although Logic not sweet. Let's Serum Visions. Think we gotta wait one more turn. I wish we didn't discard this Temporal Trespass. Means we only have one more in our deck, I believe. Because 2 are in our graveyard. Although, if we ever get them back with the Summonings, probably game over. Hopefully next turn we will be able to play our Metallurgic Summonings. Alright, Gut Shot, lands. Well, I think we actually want lands. So, put on top, put on top. Pass the turn. Gut Shot's actually a good way to get rid of this Eternal Scourge. Opponent has a land. Goes to combat. Well... This has to exile, right? Whenever it becomes a target, exile it, yeah. Alright, so... Gut Shot the Scourge, goes to exile. Our opponent can recast it, but... There's P and Karen, which means we need to Logic Knot. X4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe we gotta go 5. I don't... they could have Simian Spirit Guide. And then just Eternal Scourge again. Alright, that's good. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are dead to a bolt again. Come on, let's not discard Summonings. Alright, we draw and discard a land. Then we can Thought Scour ourselves. Find a Remand. Another bolt. Play the island. Play Metallurgic Summonings. Pass the turn. Hope our opponent does not have a bolt for 1 turn. Another land. Goes to combat. Well, let's bolt the Scourge. Get a 1/1. Opponent's probably going to recast it. It's not really a threat anymore, though, because we can chump it for a long time. Opponent passes. Ooh, that's the draw. That is exactly what we needed. Alright, now we're not dead to bolt anymore. So we just pass the turn and try to get as much value out of this Summonings as possible, saving our Logic Knot to make sure we don't die. So let's block the Scourge again. Bolt the Scourge. Or Scourge. Am I saying that wrong? Scourge? And then actually, let's remand our Lightning Bolt to get another token. Also keep the Bolt in hand for the next time our opponent plays the Eternal Scourge. Hopefully we don't discard Logic Knot. Not Logic Knot. Please, not Logic Knot. Alright, we still got Logic Knot. Don't have much else. We get to attack with everything. Opponent's going to try to bolt our face. Well, let's see how big of a token we can make. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, X15 seems good. Make a 17-17. Oh, yes. Well, there's only one more bolt in our opponent's deck, so if they draw the last bolt, they got us. Otherwise... Oh, come on. Don't draw it. Vandal Blast to destroy all artifacts. Oh, there goes our 17-17. Alright, that's annoying. Opponent passes. Well, there's the Serum Visions. Alright, let's Serum Visions. Get a 1-1. Draw a land. Put Lighthouse to the bottom. Desperate Ravings, good on top. Play an island. Pass the turn. There's another Pian Carnalar. Alright, so we need to Mana Leak Pian Carnalar. Pian Carnalar resolves. In response to the trigger, we gotta bolt the Pian Carnalar. This is gonna be super close. Opponent has 2 1/1 flyers. We draw Desperate Ravings. So we desperately rave. Get a token. Draw a Summonings. So we rave again. We need a removal spell for a Thopter. Well, there's an Izzet Charm. Do some attacking. Alright, opponent kills one of our tokens. Yup. Out of cards. We play the mountain. Pass the turn. Wow, this game ended up being super close. Oh, now we're dead. Well, we can... I guess we have to loot with Izzet Charm. Discard Summonings in Mountain. Now we need to remand into a removal spell? Come on, deck. Be... Oh, another Summonings. Alright. Alright. That does it. Wow. This feels like a matchup we shouldn't lose either. But we did, just barely. I think we run it back. This setup's fine. I still think that it took us a long time to get Summonings going, and then once we finally did, our opponent managed to get in a lot of damage early in the game. And once that happened, they were able to just barely finish us off. If if they didn't have the double Lightning Bolt in hand, I think that might have went differently. That was the biggest problem, is once we stabilized, we were at 1 life. If we had been able to stabilize just a couple life points higher, I think we would have been good. But we are going to run it back like this. Alright, game 3 against Skred. We're on the play. And no blue mana. Good hand, though, if we had blue mana. This is actually pretty solid. We will definitely keep this. Opponent's also going to 6. We will keep Island on top for now. We're just going to Serum Visions into the Island anyway. Gut Shot to the bottom. We'll keep Electrolyze, though. Electrolyze cycles. Pass the turn. At instant speed, no less. There's a snow-covered mountain. Well, play the mountain, pass the turn. Leave up all of our instant speed stuff. Snow-covered mountain and Mind Stone. Alright, let's just Thought Scour ourselves. Draw an island, mill, Izzet Charm, and a Thought Scour. Play the island, pass the turn. Scrying Sheets for our opponent. Alright, we'll let that resolve and just Electrolyze Pian Carnalar. Untap. Play the... Play the island. Pass the turn. Opponent's only got 4 cards in hand. Gets in with the Thopters. Yup. Down to 18. Eternal Scourge. Alright. Let's Thought Scour ourselves. See what we draw. There's the Summonings. Since we drew Summonings, let's just remand Eternal Scourge. Another Summonings. Alright. Well, Mountain and Summonings. I think having a quicker Summonings is going to go a long way in this matchup. Mono Red can't deal with the Summonings once it's down. Oh, Eternal Scourge again. Yup, that is fine. Well, let's see if we draw land, we will just play a second Summonings and then bolt. There's land. All right. Well, that makes it easy. So Summonings number 2, and not sure what our opponent does from here. I guess Stormbreath Dragon is still somewhat of an out. There's a land. Opponent goes to combat. Well, we are just going to bolt a Thopter, make 2 1/1s, and then block Eternal Scourge. Well, what's our opponent have? Cracks Mindstone? Oh, and passes. We draw another Desperate Ravings. Well, let's get in for one. And feeling like this one is pretty well in hand. Opponent drops to 19. Plays a Snow-Covered Mountain. Goes to combat. Well, let's Electrolyze. Ping and ping. Get a couple 3/3s. Scourge gets exiled. Thopter dies. Oh, and there's a Trespass. All right, Anger the Gods. Well, we're gonna take the risky line here, and we're gonna flashback this Desperate Ravings. Odds are against Temporal Trespass being discarded. Hopefully, we just discard one of these 2 Ravings. All right, that works, and that should be the game, I think. So, Serum Visions, make a couple 1/1s. Mountain to the bottom, Logic Knot. We'll keep that on top. But I don't think it matters, because we are just going to Temporal Trespass, exiling pretty much everything. And I don't think our opponent can beat 2 11/11s. Oh, this deck. And we might as well Ravings. Oh, Summonings. So sweet when it goes off. So this is a turn 8, but this feels like a really good matchup. So we'll attack with what we can. We get an extra turn, though. All right, opponent Skred's a 2/2, but that's not going to save them in the long run. Skred's a 2/2. Play the Mountain. Take our extra turn. Attack with everything, and Blue-Red Summonings. Well, like I said, I think that's a good matchup, but that was still pretty sweet. Just crushing Skred. Whoo!